From suffering, I will quickly establish them in the state of the most perfect and precious Bodhi. All mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all-knowingness. May they experience happiness and be separated from suffering. I will quickly establish them in the state of the most perfect and precious Bodhi. All mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all-knowingness. May they experience happiness and be separated from suffering. I will quickly establish them in a state of the most perfect precious Bodhi. Thus, until I achieve Buddha, I engage in virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Until death, I engage in virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. From now until this time, tomorrow, I engage in virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. And the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, most excellent, I take refuge until Bodhi is reached. By the merit of generosity and other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all wandering beings in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, most excellent. I take refuge until Bodhi is reached. The merit of generosity and other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all wandering beings. In the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, most excellent, I take refuge until Bodhi is reached. By the merit of generosity and other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all wandering beings. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from the bias of attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from the bias of attachment and aversion. Lord Vajradhara Tilipa Naropa Marpa Milarepa Gampopa Pa Modupa Jikten Sumgön Venerable Root Guru, possessing the three kindnesses, root and lineage Gurus, Hidams, Dharma Palas, pray bestow blessings on my mind stream, unequal refuge, ornament of the world, whose renown pervades the 3,000 worlds, the undisputed conqueror Vajradhara. I pay homage to you, the Father. Jikten Gompo, you alone are continually on my mind. Compassionate one, please grant your blessings. Dispel the darkness of my mind. Please bless me to realize the mind free from elaborations. Hung on the northwest border of the land of Uddiyana, in the heart of a lotus flower, endowed with the most marvelous attainment, you are renowned as lotus born, surrounded by many hosts of Dakinis following in your footsteps. I pray to you. Come, inspire me with your blessings, Guru Pema Siddhi Hum. In the Dharma Dhatu palace of Akarnishta is the essence of the Buddhas of the three times, who directly reveals my mind as Dharmakaya, O root Guru. At your feet I supplicate. I am Vajra Yogini, instantaneously above my head is protector of three worlds, Ratnashri, abiding naturally as a Nirmana Kaya from the Vamsi syllable. In my heart emanate Ram Yam Kam that purify all impurities and stains of the offering substances. Then the syllables Ahung emanate, which transforms the immaculate essence of the offering substances into the nature of the elixir of primordial wisdom, turning then into substances that are agreeable to each of the types, entirely filling the limitless 3,000-fold universe. Ahung, ahung, ahung. Nama sarva tathagata bhayo bishamukebhya sarvata kang ungate saparana hemangagana kang soha. Nama sarva tathagate bhayo bishamukebhya sarvata kang ungate saparana hemangagana kang soha. Nama sarva tathagate bhayo bishamukebhya sarvata kang ungate saparana hemangagana kang soha. Free from the innate nature that is spontaneously present since the beginning, I invite and request the protectress of the teachings to come to this birthless, perfectly luminous secret mandala, Yudakinis who magically appear from the activity of primordial wisdom. Supreme guardians who abide by the command and oath manifest magical forms from the Dharma Dhatu, worldly and primordial wisdom, emanations and retinue with your heart samayas roused. Please come here from the expanse of the excellent azure space ablaze with turquoise light, specifically from the azure crack of Mule Aturdum, great elder sister Achi Nanangza. Please come here to burn all venomous enemies and obstructors. Magical apparitions of elusive forms emerging from the sphere of primordial wisdom are the deities. Exalted activities, wisdom, samaya, and magnetizing, guardians of the conqueror's teachings, each according to their own type. Retinues of pacification, enrichment, magnetization, and destruction. Cries of longing yogins calling out like a dragon's roar with welcoming substances, silk ribbons and hands beckoning. I bring forth offering clouds of cleansing smoke and ocean of elixir due to the samayas. Come here to this place of unsolid samaya samaja ja hong bham ho ala la ho he bhagavan akarshaya samaya ja. Shri Goddess Lady of Space, along with your entire retinue, please be seated happily, each according to your like. I bring forth oceans of offering clouds, both physical and visualized. With devotion I praise and pay homage with body, speech, and mind. Here now at this place and in this supreme year, at this excellent juncture, when the planets and stars are in favorable positions, with the aspiration prayers of all majestic full destroying Buddha for the exhaustion of the generative factors, may I achieve in its entirety the true meaning of this life. As I make this cleansing offering to you, deities, now let ghosts, demons, mishaps, and obstructors disperse to their own abodes, cleanse and purify obscurations and impediments. Cure with various supreme medicines that clear the afflictive emotions, fine as silks, jewels, incense, aloes wood, sandalwood, cedar wood, fragrant fir, juniper, dwarf, rhododendron, birch, and so on. All these types of fragrant and ambrosia woods, flour, butter, milk, and various types of food and drink. We make these clouds of pervading smoke of this cleansing offering for you, glorious root and lineage gurus. We cleanse for you, Idam Vajra Yogini, along with retinue. We cleanse for you, protectors of the teachings, Chief Lady of Space, Chuki Droma, for you, exalted activities, Dakini. Wisdom Dakini, Samaya Dakini, magnetizing Dakini, and for you, the three goddesses who devour a snatch away, we cleanse. Heart-shaking mother and razor to the life force, wrathful red mother of exalted activities, along with retinue, along with all your assemblies of thousands of dark red flesh eaters, for all you matrikas and dakinis without exception, we cleanse for you the powerful Lady Tashi setting of the supreme crystal tresses of the Himalaya, for you, the goddesses of the 4 families, the 5 sisters consort, and retinue, and you 12 Tenmas along with your retinue, we cleanse, so that the Gowe gods and the multitude of family guardians, the guardians of the precious teachings of the Kaju, and oceans of sworn guardians protect us, the Samaya keeping yogins, we offer this cleansing. As this touches the deities and us, the evil of defilements from Samaya breaches, defilements from violations of vows, quarrels, filth, and demons, those coming from contact with corpses, rape, incest, infidelity, and falling of hearts. All these foul defects are cleansed, and we thus become pure. In this way, with this profound ritual of bathing in cleansing smoke, the guardian deities are pleased, violations and breaches are mended, all obstructive and discordant conditions are quelled, and all our wishes that accord with the Dharma are abundantly accomplished. Here now with lofty praises to the guardian deities, glory to Choki Droma, with these outer, inner, and secret support substances. Glory to Choki Droma, with these various desirable offering clouds. Glory to Choki Droma, with music of devotional songs of praise. Glory to Choki Droma, with mantras, mudras, and samadhi. Glory to Choki Droma, superior to the pinnacle of cyclic existence. Glory to Choki Droma, brighter than the sun and moon. Glory to Choki Droma, good as filling jewels. Glory to Choki Droma, full like a summer lake. Glory to Choki Droma, to spread the never waning teachings of Buddha's. Glory to Choki Droma, to guard and fulfill the ultimate accomplishment of disciples. Glory to Choki Droma, may the guardians and humans not be separated. All the excellent glories, wealth, power, and blessings of the animate and inanimate, of the environment and inhabitants in samsara and nirvana, I now bring together these enriching presences, prosperous fortune swirling like an ocean. By the great might of all you guardians, guard the jewels of the essence teachings. Increase, develop, and stabilize the holders of the teachings for us who are unerring and our retinue. Increase auspiciousness and resources in our abodes, and when we are away, repel all bandits and hostile forces. Dispel harmful gossips and laws now and in the time to come. Spontaneously bring about all these benefits. Om Vajra Sato Samaya Manupala. Sanje Guru Rinpo Jangunda Gunda Deva Chimpesha Bhaje Gunsa Dudu Dhambosa Sowa Devso Jinji Labdu So Jinang Sawe Bhaje Shivada Sambalon Jidu Brajinji Lo Dudu Sanje Guru Rinpo Jangunda Gunda Deva Chimpesha Bhaje Gunsa Dudu Dhambosa Sowa Devso Jinji Labdu So Jinang Sawe Bhaje Shivada Sambalon Jidu Brajinji So what if so Jinjin love the so Jin Baje Shiwan Sambalungi Dubra Jinjilo, Deso Sanje Guru, Rimpochen, Gunda Deva Chimba Shabache, Kunsa Dudu Daposa. So what if so Jinjilo, Dozo Jinan Samwe Baje Shiva, Dan Sambalungi Dubra Jinjilo. Guru Rinpoche, Buddha of the 3 times great bliss, source of all siddhis, wrathful subduer of Maras who removes all obstacles. Grant your blessings, we pray. Through them may all obstacles, outer, inner, and secret, be quelled. And may all our aspirations be fulfilled. Sublime, precious, venerable, and glorious root and lineage gurus, assembly of Idam deities, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, dwelling in the 10 directions, and all assemblies of Viras, Viranis, Yoginis, and Dakinis, please heed me. May the virtues collected in the 3 times by me and the entirety of samsara and nirvana, and the inherent root of virtue not result in the 8 worldly dharmas, the 4 causes of samsara, and the resultant states of hearers and solitary realizers, and may all mothers, sentient beings, limitless as the sky, particularly those enemies who hate us, obstruct us, or harm, and those who create obstacles, Maras who mislead, and their Mara retinues have happiness, be separated from suffering, and quickly attain the unsurpassed, perfect, and precious Bodhi. By the power of this vast root of virtue, may we benefit sentient beings with body, speech, and mind. May the afflictive thoughts of attachment, aversion, ignorance, pride, and jealousy not arise in my mind stream. May thoughts of name, fame, gain, respect, and so forth in this life not arise for even a moment. With my mind stream moistened by love, compassion, and bodhicitta, may I come under the care of virtuous spiritual friends, and having become as limitless as space, may I achieve the supreme attainment of Mahamudra in this very life. By the virtues collected in the 3 times by me and the entirety of samsara and nirvana, and by the innate root of virtue, may I and all sentient beings quickly attain the unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious Bodhi. Page 65. All appearances are one's own mind. We generally assert, we generally think, that all mental absorptions, such as attaining the 3 kinds of awakening, and including the above-mentioned intense mental states and so forth, arise gradually, not instantaneously, and that all these divisions do not exist externally, but are your own mind. So that's the general position, that all the mental absorptions with their various names, including even attaining the 3 kinds of awakening, which is the awakening of a hearer, awakening of a solitary realizer, and an awakening of a complete and perfect Buddha. And also then all these intense mental states and so forth, They arise gradually, not instantaneously. It's said that they arise, they turn up gradually, not instantaneously. In the sense of, now gradual and instantaneous need not necessarily be even about speed. Often we think that when we say gradual and instantaneous, it's about speed. Elsewhere in the commentary to one of the statements in the Gongjik, where it is referenced here in our translation, one engages in all the paths gradually. In one of the commentaries, in Chodrat's commentary, he says, to say that they are traversed, that you engage in them and you traverse, you go through them in a gradual manner, he says that need not necessarily refer to actual speed. Actual speed could still be very fast, but the way in which they are attained is gradually, sequentially. So he gives the analogy. He says, it is like, he says, a strong man, a strong person, shooting an arrow onto a target. So this practice target has layers of fabric, right? Layer, 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 layer. So it's a very thick target. So when you shoot the arrow, he says, the first layer, the arrow tip cuts through first. Then it cuts through the second layer, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth. But because the shooter is very strong, right? Then superficially you say, oh, the arrow shot the target instantaneously, literally in one instance. But it's not literally in one instance. It's still gradual. So elsewhere, we know that Kyoba says, gradual and sudden need not necessarily be about speed. The division into gradual and sudden, obviously sudden, speed is fast. But the gradual part need not mean slowly. It can be very fast, but it's gradual, it's sequential. But all of this is called appearances of one's own mind, which is the main point in this section. And that these divisions do not exist externally, but are your own mind, occurs in your own mind. So these divisions, these stages, these paths, they are only asserted, they are only divided because the Buddha is trying to show us the subtle way in which each layer of confusion is overcome. But don't think of it as something that is preset and pre-existing out there, because it's not like that. It's our own mind. This is what is called appearances of one's own mind. Thus, all phenomena encompassed within samsara and nirvana. They are all your own mind. And this mind is primordially birthless emptiness. This mind is also birthless emptiness. The appearance of samsara or nirvana is an appearance that results from different perceptions. Different perceptions, different karma, different conditions. Then it appears accordingly. According to what? According to the mind that is perceiving, the mind that is experiencing these appearances. Thus, there are two aspects: your own mind as samsara and your own mind as nirvana. Your own mind as samsara is when your own mind It goes on. Your own mind is samsara when it is combined with the three afflictions, and thereby appears as the three lower realms. So the three lower realms, the hell realms, the hungry spirit realm, and the animal realm, they are the natural embodiment of your mind, particularly your mind when completely overpowered by ignorance, which is the animal realm, attachment, which is the hungry spirit realm, and aversion, aggression, which is the hell realm. A mind that aspires to awakening appears as the three kinds of awakening. Okay, so the mind that is moving towards awakening, meaning freedom from these three afflictions, then eventually they take on the appearance. They appear as any of the kinds of awakening. If the mind is agitated by the affliction of desire alone, the appearances of that mind will be those of a hungry ghost. It is not that the realm of hungry ghosts exists externally. Although what appears in the mind of hatred is the suffering of hell beings, no hell realm exists externally. Although a mind of delusion appears as the animal realm, that does not exist externally either. So here is a good place to pause and make this point, which I'm sure some of you are like, oh, he's talking about that again. We've heard so many times already. When it says, there is no hungry ghost realm aside from your mind. There is no hell realm aside from your mind. Then when we hear this, we think, oh, yes, it's only symbolic. But hello, your pet dog is not symbolic, okay? That's animal realm. So in the same way, your cats and your dogs, your chinchillas, your chickens, your crocodile, they are also not symbolic, okay? Especially if you think they are symbolic, when you go to the vet and they send you a bill, that's absolutely not symbolic. So what it is saying here is that it does not exist externally. It still is talking about what are we most concerned about when we say hungry ghost realm, hell realm, animal realm, or for that matter, Tuscany, or Asheville, or Madison. What are we really talking about here when we say, understand that Asheville is your own mind. Understand that hell realm is your own mind. What we're saying here is your experience of what you call Asheville, that's your own mind. Other people with their own Asheville in their minds can still go to this place called Asheville. And experience Asheville with their own minds in their own way. So same with these three lower realms. And same with the three upper realms. So human realm too does not exist externally. In this context. In the context of training the mind, in the context of Mahamudra, in the context of Dzogchen. It doesn't exist externally. This statement, it should not be extended to, oh, you mean this like table here only exists in the mind? Does not exist externally? It's like, no, it does, yeah. But what matters more here isn't exactly this this isn't exactly, this table. What matters more when we talk about the mind, training the mind, is how the mind experiences this table. All the likes and dislikes that is going on here. All the attachments and aversions that is going on here. All the stories that is going on here. All the memories, false and true and in between, that is associated with this. All of that do not exist externally. They only exist in our own minds. And that is that mind that needs to be pacified. And so what appears to the mind is the mind itself as it combines with the three afflictions. In the most extreme form, this body does not even have to be discarded for another realm to appear. So this is, that means you don't need to even discard this body, this human body, to be in the hell realm and in the hungry ghost realm, or for that matter, in the God realm. Yeah? This was the case with the Bumpo from Nenang in Gongpo, or with Devadatta. So it is said that Devadatta committed such heinous and terrible actions that even while still in the body of a human, he arrived at the lowest hell realm. And the Bumpo of Nenang accomplished a practice focusing on nagas or serpent spirits, so that he turned himself into a naga in that very life. However, it usually depends on first discarding the body, meaning for most other types of karmas, positive or negative, in order to experience the heavenly realms, you usually discard this body. That means die. Then you continue in the God realm, in the demigod realm, or the hungry ghost realm, or the hell realm. But there are extreme cases where the mind is so completely overpowered by one of these states, then even while within this body, we experience the other realms. That being so, it is necessary to stop accumulating mental and physical deeds of the three afflictions, as well as their results, and to abide in a state of mind free from the three afflictions. A mind that is free from the three afflictions and under the influence of an intention aspiring to one of the three kinds of awakening is what appears as that one of the three kinds of awakening. And so first, one aspect of this, mind needs to be free from the three afflictions. Or you need to be determined to not let your mind be held hostage by the three afflictions, the three poisons. Then, with that in place, so to say, or with that as a focus, then you also make the resolve. So free from these kleshas, and therefore what? And therefore awaken. Awaken in what way? Awaken in the way of a hearer, awaken in the way of a solitary realizer, and awaken in the way of a Buddha. The main division being between Buddhas, full and complete Buddhas on the one hand, and hearers and solitary realizers on the other hand. Here, Kyopa is content to just say, any of these three types you could aspire for. Of course, elsewhere he would say, but the only meaningful one, the ultimately good one to aspire for, to aim for, to go towards, is the awakening of a fully awakened Buddha. So that's the abandoning of the three non-virtues, or the abandoning of the three poisons, with bodhicitta as motivation, for the sake and the benefit of all. Again, the mind combined with attachment will definitely establish the realm of hungry ghosts when deeds are done under its control. Therefore, and also so that the practice of the generation stage, creation state, is not mistaken, erroneous, it is necessary to strive for a mind free from the three afflictions. So this is saying, even in the generation stage, in the creation stage, you have to have this clarity and resolve about being free from the three afflictions. If you don't have that, and then you engage in deity yoga practice, it can lead to the three lower realms. Because particularly in deity yoga, you take the symbolism associated with ignorance, attachment, and aggression and work with them. But if you don't know what you're working with and how to work with them, then you are feeding the three poisons. Yeah, so the quote is from the Chintamani in the footnote 111. A deity that generates desire is a hungry ghost. A deity that gives in to anger is a hell being. And a deity that generates ignorance is an animal. A deity turning into poison is described as a non-virtue from which suffering arises. Therefore, be watchful of the deity. Therefore, guard your deity carefully. But when we know what the symbolism is, what the meaning is, then working with the deities in the forms that they are represented, very like angry, wrathful, or very lustful, there is actually a special method if you know how to wield it. If you don't know how to wield it, it's like having someone without training with chainsaw, then harmful. But with an understanding of those symbols, what they're pointing to, then engaging in these special methods of using sight, sound, smell, taste, touch in a different way can quickly, swiftly cause realization. Same with like the accoutrements, right? The accessories, so to say, that often associated with Vajrayana practice, of which the bell and the dorje, most important. Then second, well, maybe mala, and bell and dorje is up there, right? Having those. Then tamaru, But knowing the meanings of this when we use them makes the use of them very different from not knowing. Now, at least, these instruments don't have, potential problems because they don't, provoke or connote the three poisons for us. But in the Vajrayana deity forms, it can do that if we're not careful. So therefore, be watchful of the deity. Or be watchful even with deities. So, it's not meant, Kyoba is not saying this so that, you become paranoid about deity practice, Some people might hear this and go, no, I'm not going to do that. Well, if you're not going to do that, it'll take three incalculable eons to achieve Buddhahood. And you said, well, that's okay, I'm patient. But then, meanwhile, sentient beings are suffering, So how can you wait three incalculable eons? Even if you are patient, can you not see your mothers are suffering? Then it's like, oh no, then no choice. Yeah? I'm going to practice this more powerful method. So this is what Gilbert is trying to inspire us, not to like scare us away from practicing deity yoga. Yeah, some people misunderstand. They say, "Oh no, in that case, see, it says in the Chintamani, so I'm not going to practice that because I'm not strong enough." I believe if you say that to Gilbert, Gilbert will say, "Hey, mothers are suffering. You cannot waste a minute, so to say. So you need to engage in this practice, but with proper guidance, with proper understanding, with proper motivation. And then it becomes very quick." Yes, there's a question? Comment?
Yeah. Oh, that's me. Okay.
Okay.
There's you're practicing and you see a response that cut it, purify it. Then you're not working the in the wrong. Correct.
Can you speak more directly to the microphone? I think the sound's kind of in and out.
It is. So when you practice the deity, an afflictive and you see it, and you want to purify and use like symbol see it purified. Then you're working the right direction.
Yeah, I think I can hear I think I know what you're saying. Still, the sound is going in and out. But so this question about so you're working with the deity, and then you see the affliction, and then you cut it. I think elsewhere, on other times we can talk about this. It's not also so directly. So like when I practice a wrathful deity, then I see wrath or anger, then I cut it. It's also not so directly. These methods work, so to say, mysteriously. So in other words, it's not the case that the training is like directly while you're working on the creation stage, the deity is like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. During that time, mostly you should keep your mind busy, so to say, with the deity is like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. Yeah. As for noticing that anger is arising, or attachment is arising, or laziness is arising, actually during that time, just put them down. Just like, okay, no, you wait. I'm now working on creation stage. So you work on the creation stage. So the one face of the deity, or however number of faces of the deity, and the two hands of the deity, or however number of hands of the deity, you come back to that. You're like, now I'm working on the creation stage. So you work on it. So all the characteristics of the deity, you work on establishing a clear visualization of that. When you're doing that, right, then you are remembering the four hands, the four immeasurable minds, and therefore these are the four kind of activities of Avalokiteshvara with the four arms. Right? The six arms of the deity are the six paramitas. So mentally, you're going through, and this is called engaging in recollection of purity. That means recollecting the pure representations of these iconographic forms. So as you go through that, over time, it will become more obvious to you how you're directly working with anger or attachment or ignorance. Yeah. I think sometimes your question is very good, because I think sometimes we think that it is in a very direct way, you know. I mean, eventually it becomes a very direct way of like cutting and releasing or purifying or abandoning, whatever word you use, basically is to become free from, right? Eventually, you will have the ability to just let go like that. How you get there, that's kind of the mysterious part, in the sense of it's hard to explain. But as for the method given, that method works to give rise to more and more easily and more naturally, we are done with those afflictive emotions. In any case, this is a multifaceted practice tradition. Yeah, and it may fit some people and may not fit other people. I think there are other people who, due to their own karmic conditions and karmic situations, so to say, they're more suited to the practice that is just a single method. So whether it's zazen, Soto Zen tradition, you know, just sit in front of the wall and work through all the afflictions that way, or they practice vipassana, you know, in a Theravada context, or single recitation, like in Japan, of the name of the Lotus Sutra, or the name of Amitabha, the single method. But the legacy of Tibetan Buddhism is a comprehensive. So, so some of the challenges of this comprehensive is that it can be very bewildering and distracting. You know, suddenly we're doing this practice, and then suddenly we're doing this practice, and then especially, like, you know, when you are not the one who is deciding that, right? Then you're thinking, you know, suddenly they want to do this, suddenly they want to do that, you know. Yes, I think it can be distracting, it can be challenging, it can be hard. But again, I think, you know, where Kyoba Rinpoche gave us a very good way to deal with all of this, which is the 84,000 Dharma methods constitute a single path to awakening. That understanding, I think, is very important to hold. And so once we get that, it means there's no need to pick and choose anymore. No matter of the Dharma method that turns up that day, I practice, and I practice it with the same understanding, same intention, same motivation, same goal. So it's like, is it good to have a regular, staple diet of eating whatever you eat every day, you know, and balance it out with the other nutrients that you need? Very good. But if, you know, someday somebody say, oh, I brought this instead, and if you're rigid, you know, you're like, oh, I'm not going to eat. That's one extreme, right? The other extreme is then, of course, oh, this is really good. Can I have this every day? But the skillful approach is, this is also food. It's not the food that I'm used to, but this is also food. And then you eat, you know, and be nourished. So the 84,000 dharmas constitute a single path to awakening. There's no higher and lower in terms of what the Buddha gave. They all have the equal taste of liberation. So then the comprehensiveness, the previously unruly variety of practices that one could be doing, they suddenly don't become 84,000 alternatives. Rather, they are 84,000 aspects of the one same practice. And if we want a way to talk about what is that one same practice, is actualizing the two bodhicittas. Yeah? Again, the mind combined with attachment will definitely establish the realm of the hungry ghost when deeds are done under its control. Therefore, and also so that the practice of the generation stage is not mistaken, it is necessary to strive for a mind free from the three afflictions. The mind free from desire and the other afflictions, and governed by an intention of aspiring to one of the three kinds of awakening, is what is called one's own mind as nirvana. The mind in connection with the three afflictions establishes the three lower realms. This is what is called one's own mind as samsara. So samsara and nirvana depends on the absence of the presence of the three poisons, the three afflictions. The next section is a very important section. Of course, all of it is important, but particularly this one, this notion of the embodiment of intention. It's a more subtle point of understanding this principle of karmic causality. Because karmic causality superficially looks like what others talk about, like a system of rewards and punishment. Or even this notion of what goes around comes around. Even that, I think, is still missing a more basic fundamental point about the principle of karmic causality. And that section, the embodiment of the intention, which is Gilbert says, every moment of being, of existing, every moment now is the embodiment, is the appearance, the embodiment of the particular state of mind that is behind the action that led to the result now. Every moment of experience is experiencing the embodiment of that intention. See something with hate, then hateful form appears. Smell something with love, then the appearance of love is what we experience. And so on and so forth. Wake up, it's like, I don't know, today, don't feel like waking up. Where does that come from? It's the embodiment of a particular state. So then this is related to the bigger way of looking at all appearances are nothing but mind. A more subtle point is the next section, which is every moment is the embodiment of the intention, of our intentions. So today we're going to stop here. There is a big earthquake that happened in southeastern Taiwan yesterday. Now 12 hours have passed. Buildings have toppled and things like that. I don't think, I didn't hear of any loss of human life, at least last night when it happened. But nonetheless, quite a bit of destruction has happened. So anyway, think of them, dedicate merit to the beings there and all beings everywhere. Chanju sem churim poche ma ge banam ge gyuche ge ba nyam ba me ba ya go ne gong du be war shun. Okay.